Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 150th episode of the Alter Ego Podcast. We're back. We're live. We're not live. We're recorded, but I like to say we're live. Oh, how you doing, Mr. Ryan?
I am great. How are you, sir?
Living the dream?
I don't know if I call it a dream.
Okay. Mr. Rhino, how you doing over there?
Just so you're aware, it's actually the sesquicentennial. Chet gave you that note. He passed me that note. I was really hoping it would land. I was hoping that Chet could start the show on a positive note, but he can't.
Chet be fucking up.
You know, sometimes I'm like, what's the why?
No.
Why keep coming back?
It's sesquicentennial, bro.
Why?
I thought it was Juneteenth.
Do we need another Alter Ego podcast? And then I drag myself out of bed. I come here to start recording, and you hit me with sesquicentennial.
Sesquicentennial.
Shit. All right. Oh boy, welcome everybody. 150 episodes. Thank you for all of you that have been here with us since the beginning. As we record this, it is Tuesday, June 10th.
20th.
We are about to record. What did I say?
The 10th.
20th. God bless America. June 20th. Here we are. Let's talk about some amazing stuff that's going on. As a matter of fact, no, before we get into that, I have just a topic I want to throw out to the ether and discuss, because the SAG members, the Screen Actors Guild, have just made a vote to approve a strike, which all your SAG actor friends, which anybody who's in a big media or big movie or something like that is a SAG actor, 97% of them approved striking. So they don't feel they're being compensated fairly. And on top of all that, we've got the writer's strike. We've got any sort of entertainment that you like that is film or television is on strike because people don't
Alter Ego
feel
podcast going on strike.
Shit. If 66% of our members strike, then yeah, we'd be out of a job.
Damn.
But no, I just think it's amazing. All of these people. And now, first of all, there's definitely a tippy top 1% of SAG and writers and all that stuff. And there's definitely little guys that are a part of this too. But it just seems a little ridiculous to me. I don't know why. I don't know why this rubs me the wrong way. I mean, sure, there's a lot of money being made in Hollywood by people who are producing the movies. The big studios are ranking in the cash. Disney, Marvel being a part of that, obviously DC being a part of that too. Not that they're making huge blockbusters right now, but all these movie studios are making so much money, and they're not, to me, even churning out that much original content.
They're not.
And it's ridiculous. Like, what is the end game here, right? How do we stop this? Because I'm beyond annoyed with the fact that, we're going to get Mrs. Doubtfire 6 and Mrs. Doubtfire is going to be CGI'd to be Robin Williams, but it's going to be a reboot. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's the kind of stuff I feel like we hear anymore.
Bro, I'm a little disappointed that I missed 3, 4, and 5.
Wait, there's a 2?
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I mean,
right. These are mega studios and people making mega money who feel like they're not getting paid enough. When is that really the problem?
I don't know. Well, I think it's partially because we have to wake up and go to work and do regular work and not make nearly that much money.
That's true.
So we have a little, aggravation. Oh, you're making $1 million to write this movie.
Yeah,
Shut the fuck up.
That's true.
That's
true. You're not a roofer in the middle of July. You're not having to go out there and do labor. You're not having to deal with the general public.
You know what? Get me a pen. I'll write the next one. It's all women. Where's my check?
One thing to keep in mind with this, though, is that You did make a comment that's accurate is like there's the 1%, maybe 2% of people who get paid a lot of money to do what they do, but there is an industry standard where there is a bare minimum amount that they pay people who might not have their name plastered up all over Times Square billboards and stuff like that.
$250 per hour. I know because I've done SAG work before.
So there is that industry standard where there's a minimum pay that they will get no matter what they are doing. And I'm on the opposite side of this than you guys. I don't know all of the details of what they're dealing with, but as a union member, when you have a very particular skill set where you can't just be replaced right away, and you see all of these companies that are making record profits, even during times of inflation and during times of a pandemic, they're making record profits, and your pay is not going up to keep pace with inflation in the country. There is a beef to be had there where you can say, I feel as if I deserve more compensation for what I'm doing. You guys are making a lot of money off of my work, and I would like to be paid more since you are making all of these record profits.
I feel that. So now who's the other side? They're the ones taking all the risks too. Say that movie bombs. Does those millions of dollars to repay everybody come out of your pocket?
We've had movies bomb every single year for the last 100 years. I mean, movies are always going to bomb.
People are still getting paid, but they're not the ones losing.
But Disney think about it like this. I mean, Top Gun 2 made $1 billion during the pandemic.
Yeah.
What would that movie have done if there was no pandemic?
Who knows? Say it didn't. Say it wasn't as good, and it did nothing.
To anybody in any profession like this, not to say anything about the steam fitters or the actors or anything like that, I know you all do skilled work. I know it's not necessarily easy to do what you do, but there's two sides of this. A, you're replaceable. I don't care who you are, because if any of them stop working forever, somebody's going to open up that door the next day, guaranteed.
Hey, listen,
sure,
for $250 an hour, I'm pulling up right now.
There might be a training period, and there may be definitely bumps and bruises, and it's going to hurt. But you have to kind of meet in the middle here. I think that some of these folks, like Netflix and like Paramount, who are doing what, almost $1 billion a series now. Or what is it, like 50 million an episode to create a show? Bro, do you not remember some of these old classics? Tone it down. You don't need to spend this much damn money, because then we cover this stuff. And the Lord of the Rings series is the one that really rings out to me right now, because there wasn't like this massive following of people clamoring to get the Lord of the Rings on TV. It's just a big IP. They spent too much damn money on that thing, and they could have done the same with a lot less.
Yeah, and it's
I
weird.
think that also leads to the beef that they have, though. If I was a writer and I'm sitting there in the production meetings and I'm listening to them talk about the fact that they're spending 50, 60, 65 million per episode, and then I'm looking at my paycheck, I'm going to start to ask some questions.
I mean, first of all, that one is definitely not a lot of leg to stand on, because you're going off of predetermined content. So you can write what you want, but you're writing somebody else's story at that point. And I get what you're saying. It's just a matter of, can we all maybe look at the quality over quantity now? Right? I mean, that's why we're getting pissed off. We're looking at so much money getting thrown out the window at stuff that I don't even care about. And like me and other consumers out there in the world, sure. There's people out there that were rabid fans of the show, and that's great. I hope you loved it. I'm just saying you could have gotten the same exact thing for a lot cheaper, and then maybe we're not in this mess, right? And this has got to have a trickle-down effect beyond just movies. Everybody's all about the almighty dollar, and they're making crazy amounts of money.
But see, I also still don't understand how they recoup all that money either on Hulu.
Yeah, and a streaming. I get like that. It's because of commercials.
If they made a movie of the Lord of the Rings, that makes sense to me. You know what I mean? I understand that. You can go spend $100 million because you're probably going to make $700 million off of it.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But to do it just for, most people use Hulu, or Prime with their Prime, you know what I mean? Prime account. And that's the way I do it. I don't actually pay for it.
Right.
Like that. So I don't understand how that even makes money or why that's a thing. Same with Netflix. Everybody shares codes. I don't know how you are throwing all this money around thinking you're actually going to get everybody to pay.
Yeah. So speaking of things that don't make sense, Super Mario Brothers came out and said that it's canon that Bowser is 34 years old. That's right. You got it. For everyone out there who was checking the hairline or seeing the wrinkles on the CGI turtle that breathes fire and has spikes coming out of his shell, he's 34, guys. Okay.
Is that in turtle
I'm
years?
not-
Everyone was worried. He was born in 1989. Okay. He's
Not sure why that's important, but
I don't know why that even needed to be announced. But okay. Here we are in today's world. Canon, Bowser's 34. Thank God. And that's going to be the episode title. Bowser is 34.
Thank God.
Thank God.
Love
it. Jet, cancel calling the show sesquicentennial.
We'll put that as a poll later on after the episode has been long released. Oh, man. Getting into video games, obviously, Microsoft promises no CG trailers for Xbox Showcase first-party games. Good.
I like it.
This is another one. This is leading right back into what I was just talking about. People are so sick of watching trailers for games that is nowhere near what the game is going to be.
I have never enjoyed a game trailer ever.
You get these badass freaking, like, let's talk about Diablo, right?
I mean,
like there's ones where you see them one shot something when you go, I had to hit that thing 58 times. And
I died 3 times in the process.
Walk by and do a cool move, and the thing is dead, and you're like, "Damn, that's cool. That ain't nothing like the game, huh?" Because you're gonna be sitting there hitting that thing 680 times.
Call of Duty was always the worst with those.
Big time.
But the Call of Duty commercials were lit, especially like the one with Kobe Bryant and all of them playing.
Those were cool. But when they did the CGI actual trailers, it's like, I don't care about this. Show me actual gameplay.
That's all everybody ever wants at these shows. Is like, we don't want to see this. We just want the gameplay. We don't want the movie. We want the game.
Yeah.
And this is another thing, man, because we as consumers have started to vote with our wallets a little bit, right? And especially with a lot of these AAA failures that are coming out. I mean, let's look at one that's not even out yet. Is that Suicide Squad game? It's already a bust, and it's not even hit the shelf yet.
Man,
I wouldn't be shocked if that game doesn't end up coming out.
I mean, I get from a player's standpoint why it would be cool to play that game, but again, this is another thing. They're just like, this is content that people like. Does it need to be a video game?
Not necessarily.
Kill the Justice League? I don't think that's something that I would believe that Suicide Squad was capable of, my friend.
No.
So let me take a quick poll. Anybody have a game that off the top of your head where you saw the gameplay and then you got the game and were super disappointed because it was nowhere near it?
For sure. You start.
Oh, mine was The Division, hands down. Hands fucking down.
That might be unanimous for us.
Oh, the Division, man. That
2?
thing was hyped, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to get put that game. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
The Division 2 or 1?
1.
Oh,
1.
1 was way off, man. It looked nothing like they originally had it when they showed gameplay.
Yeah.
They revamped the entire thing.
Not to throw anyone in particular who's wearing a backwards hat and has a long beard and long hair under the bus.
I thought it could have been okay.
Either one of us.
White. There was a certain individual.
White. White.
There's a certain individual who talked a couple of us into buying the special edition of that game.
Which game? The Division?
Division, the $100 version with the extra nothing. And we played that for about a week and a half.
I don't think I talked anybody into getting $100 version of anything.
You're gonna sit here and lie to all of our viewers.
I am not gonna sit here and lie because I don't think I could do that. Like, I probably said I'm getting this one, and y'all were like, "I bet."
Yes, because you're not convincing at all.
I am convincing. That's true.
Oh man, I had my shit
Ask Rhino about Cancun 08. I'm convinced.
The only time he was never able to convince me of anything was when he told me how strong his arm was.
That's true. That's true.
Ever since then, I've never thought he was lying to me ever.
What was I gonna say? Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought. Mine was the Dungeons and Dragons game. I was hyped about that when it was free. It looked good. I've been playing D&D forever now. That game came out. The trailer looks sweet. The play looks sweet. I'm playing it for about 3 hours. I'm like, I'm done. I don't like it. Good thing that one was on Game Pass, huh?
Yeah,
we forgot another one too. The Avengers game.
Oh,
And I gave that one try after try after try.
I think you did damn near every DLC for that.
yeah. Oh, he almost convinced me to finish playing the game, and I still ain't finished. I
Mhm.
can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, that one became a letdown quickly. New Silent Hill series will let the viewers decide the fate of the character. Okay. Diablo has surpassed $666 million in sales.
The game's been out for what, 3 weeks?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well,
You know,
I would love to know what the production budget was. It has to have been $1 billion game.
Easily. Just
So
look
I
at
mean,
all the in-game cutscenes. It's well over $1 billion, I would imagine.
we're not going to get Diablo 5 for probably another 2 or 3 years, I'd have to assume. At least.
Honestly, I would wait. I'd say 10 years because like these games have hopped through generations, man. This one, like Diablo 3, you had to wait, I think, 15 years. So this Diablo is going to be around for a while.
So it'll probably end up making 2-3 billion, I bet.
Easily, especially with some of these DLCs that they're already talking about getting ready to go and seasons. They'll recoup their money quickly.
If I may, before
fastest selling game of all time for Blizzard.
I apologize. I was going to say, before we moved on, I just want to say, if you are playing this game right now, watch every single cutscene, because one of them, I'm not going to tell you which one of them is the greatest cutscene I have ever seen in a video game in my entire life.
Yeah.
Oh, my cotton sucks. Is this guy telling the truth?
Why?
White. I'm dead serious. It is the greatest cutscene I've ever seen in a video game ever.
You know what's kind of crazy about that stat you just said before, that it's the fastest selling game? Overwatch 2 is free, and that was like one of the best games ever, and they still can't.
Overwatch 1 was one of the best games ever.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, Overwatch 1.
I was going to say Overwatch 2 is pure trash.
Yeah.
That's another one we can add to that list as being a disappointing game.
Yeah, big time. That is one of the most disappointing game experiences I've ever had. And I played every beta just trying to freaking find it and get better and feel better about it. I was like, this is the trashiest game I've ever played. So Diablo player who's live streaming lost a max level hardcore character to a disconnect. Now, for those of you who don't know what hardcore mode is, when you're playing Diablo and your character goes out there and dies in the normal game, you show up back in town or at a revive spot. In hardcore, that doesn't happen. If your character dies, they are dead forever. It is definitely the most, pun intended, hardcore player base of Diablo. They are rabid about their characters, and this guy disconnected in an area that had enemies, and he was at max level and could not log back in until his character was already dead.
I don't know how you don't destroy your console.
Honestly, I don't understand how they don't foresee this and put things in play to do that, to stop it.
Yeah, there should have been a safety. Yeah.
We're going to say Blizzard's terrible about it, and it's shit. Same thing happens in Overwatch. When you disconnect due to something on their server, I got to sit in timeout for 15 minutes or an hour.
Yep.
And I can't stand that shit.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those challenges with live service competitive games too. It's just something that's going to happen.
Bro, I'm playing offline. I ain't gonna lie to you. If I'm playing hardcore, I'm playing it offline if I can.
Well, this one's a live service. Can't play it offline.
Oh,
yeah, you can't play Diablo offline.
Yeah.
Yep. Which in the previous Diablo 3, you could do that. You could play offline and not worry about it.
But you can't play 4 offline, because then you wouldn't get the content for like the world bosses, or the hell stuff that's going on right now. What's the name of that?
Helltides.
Helltide. You wouldn't get those updates while you were playing. So that's why you got to be online to play it.
Yeah,
But I
for
mean-
those of you who haven't played previous Diablos, I am at the end game finally. This has some of the most creative, cool ways to keep you entertained as opposed to Diablo 3 that this is definitely the best of the franchise.
Well, I was gonna say like Monster Hunter.
Yeah.
They had it to where you could play online and offline, so you can click
Yeah.
on whenever you wanted to get online, and then you can click offline and play offline when you didn't want to be bothered or something.
Not
I'm
this one.
surprised they don't do that in this.
Yeah, you got to connect to the servers because of the way the game changes so much and all that other shit. So it sucks. Sorry for that guy.
Big ouchie, bro.
Yeah, big ouchies, bro.
You know what though? I don't feel as bad for him because that got that dude so much attention.
Yeah.
For his streaming channel, that dude, like, I saw something on Twitter where his views went up like 350%.
Yeah.
Like a day or two after that story posted.
And him freaking out too. That was pretty much Twitch gold.
Yeah.
Yeah. People love seeing people freak out, man. They do.
Definite silver lining in that for that guy.
All right. So let's talk about a little bit of DC in our lives. The Flash. I think we talked about this. They only had the one premiere because of their big secret ending.
Yeah.
What did we find out? I don't want to spoil it. Does anybody here know what the secret ending is?
No, I was actually gonna watch The Flash this weekend, and then my mother-in-law came into town, so I totally forgot about The Flash.
And that was more exciting to you than the Flash.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I would probably do the same.
Well, they, Ezra Miller, was really sad. They were sad that you did that.
Disappointing box office opening for that movie.
60 million? Yeah. What was it?
Yeah. I think it was like 58 and some change or 57 and some change, something like that.
Yeah. Oof, when Michael Keaton can't even save your movie.
I saw that coming a mile away.
Yeah. I mean, look at the last few movies.
They shouldn't have released this one. Not well. They can't Batgirl it. Obviously, they had to release it because they put so much money into it, and they might even be moving forward with Ezra Miller. But I don't know, man. I don't see why this movie's coming out because it's still a part of a dead universe.
The one thing that I did read about it,
this one, right?
What?
The what?
I thought it was supposed to like restart this one or jumpstart this one when they.
Yeah, it's kind of like a reset, like they've done with the comics before.
That's the Flash. That's what the
Yeah.
Flash does. He's the big eraser for DC.
I did read that the girl that played Supergirl is like the shining moment of that movie. Like she's the really the only thing that kept that movie going. And apparently now she's in discussions to join the new DCU as Supergirl.
Superman, or the Flash series, the Flashpoint series, Superman, when they find him as opposed to Supergirl, that's the shining point of the whole series anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm down with that. I bet she is. She looks great.
Yeah.
Speaking of Supergirl, Superman Legacy is reportedly introducing the Authority.
Is that Cartman?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
I'm all right with that. I mean, it's James Gunn. He obviously knows what he's doing. He knows how to introduce relatively unheard of groups of comic book characters. Obviously, he had a success with the Guardians when no one really knew who that was outside of your diehard comic readers. So if there was anyone that could do it, it would be James Gunn.
I think James Gunn is starting to get to the oh shit point of this process.
I was gonna say for him, it's got to be kind of hard too, because to do something like that, not a lot of people know a lot of DC characters to begin with. Like Marvel, everybody knows who the Hulk is. Everybody knows who Spider-Man is. Yes. You know what I mean? So it makes it a lot easier. But you go to DC and you start naming different names, and people are like, who other than Superman and Batman?
Yeah. I mean the diehards are going to know it.
Like, yeah, diehards, absolutely.
Like, oh, Booster Gold. And they're like, oh, cool. Yeah. You know, a lot of people have no idea.
Like a lot of people are still shocked when they find out Constantine is a DC character.
I think the problem that James Gunn could potentially run into, and I hope this doesn't happen, and I don't think it will happen, but the potential is there for him to try and be Kevin Feige. Yeah, and he's never going to be Kevin Feige. He needs to be James Gunn. So if he starts trying to act like Kevin Feige and turn the DCU into the MCU, he's not gonna be very successful doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially with an inferior product.
When you're trying to duplicate something like that, it's just never. It's very obvious, right? When that happens. So I don't know. The only travesty of all this is that Peacemaker season 2 is not going to get it to start production until after Superman. And I don't like that.
Yeah, so we won't get Peacemaker 2 until at least 2025 then.
For sure. Easily. That's a sad thing, man, because I need some more Peacemaker.
Me too. And this is another thing I kind of hate about these series that come on like these streaming services is it's like, bro, wasn't Peacemaker come out 2 years ago? Now what? Gotta wait another 2 years for it. So 4 years in between seasons.
So they're gonna have to do a big time jump. There's just really no way of avoiding it.
Well, and Peacemaker is that going to be considered the DC Otherworlds, or is that going to be a part of the DCU? Because he was a part of the DCEU.
It should be part of the DCU, just knowing James Gunn. But no, I take that back. I agree with you. It should be part of the other worlds. Let it live over there. But it's gonna be part of the DCU, which I agree with too. Because I think Peacemaker, he's in love with that character. Vigilante, come on. I would watch a Vigilante spin-off.
Me too.
Well, I mean, the series did good enough to where you could introduce that character to new content and everyone would love it. No one would be like, oh, he was a part of the DCEU.
But you know what? DC has a really good chance of doing to be better than Marvel. But Marvel by this time will have that Band-Aid ripped off, is they can be the darker and they can have the language like they have in Peacemaker in their major productions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they can be the adult comic book movies.
Okay, they can make grown-up movies.
But
I think we'll see a lot more gore. I think we'll see a lot more swearing. I mean, it took us until Guardians 3 to get the first F word in the MCU.
For real.
So they will have that one step up where it could be a lot darker, a lot more violent, a lot more graphic. Yeah, you're 100% right there.
And I'm not gonna lie, that F-bomb that they dropped, I thought it was gonna be someplace like Epic, yelling at the bad guy at the end. Nah, he's just telling her how to get in the car.
That's still my favorite of the.
I thought that was a great scene
of the solo Marvel movies. I think Guardians 3 is up there at the top with any solo Marvel movie. It's crazy.
And I think it doesn't come out on Disney Plus until August.
I'll wait.
The day I get home from work, that's getting put on.
Oh, speaking of, we're not going to get into it. We're not going to do that. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Take a quick break before I jump the gun, pun intended. And we're going to get into some movies and TV, then round it out with Marvel here for episode 150. See you guys in a minute. And we're back. Oh boy, ladies.
I told you Chet was a great juggler, dude. I told you.
Okay.
4 apples? Come on.
He still hasn't even earned eye contact from me. I don't want to hear about him juggling. It's so weird to hear his breathy juggling off camera. You shouldn't get that exhausted. Well, what is he juggling?
It was apples, but he was crying because you wouldn't let him get on camera.
I don't want him on camera. I don't want to see the whites of his eyes.
White.
Here, close your eyes, Chet.
He's lucky I don't fire him. Back to movies. Tell him to keep his sweaty juggling over in the corner. Warner Brothers wants Christopher Nolan back after the Tenet theatrical release debacle. So he didn't want Tenet to go out during COVID, right?
Yeah.
He thought that was a bad idea. He loved his movie and did not want it going out to a limited audience or going to streaming super quick. He wanted it to be the greatest movie ever made. And they released it anyway. So Warner Brothers, from what I understand, stroked him a check
of 7 figures
with quite a few commas and zeros. Said, we love you. Please come back.
Hey, Christopher Nolan, you already made the greatest movie ever called The Dark Knight.
That's true. It is true.
Because Tenet,
it is in my top 5.
Tenet was trash.
Of comic book movies, period.
Any genre, any brand, it doesn't matter. Top 5 ever.
Wow.
That's another one of those boys. It's on. I'll watch it.
It's true. That's true. I will watch it for that 5 minutes of Heath Ledger. It's that good.
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you, Chris. On the writer strike, sitting there with his 7-figure check. Ah, what a rough. Thoughts and prayers out to Chris. Chris, I know you're struggling. This is a dark time for you, but you will make it. Chris, I me and the boys over at the Alter Ego podcast, we're in solidarity with you. We're not going to strike, and we don't really feel bad for you, but we're here.
This is getting to Dwayne Johnson level ranting, by the way.
You guys want a shot?
Nothing is going to reach Dwayne.
Christopher Nolan, we're here for you. Mahala.
Get some Terramana. Relax out by the pool in Hawaii.
After you do your 700 squats.
You just imagine Christopher Nolan in a public bar just crying. What's the matter, buddy? They didn't release Tenet the way I wanted. You okay? They only gave me $6 million. Oh, well, this one's on me.
That's rough, bud.
Yeah. Speaking of rough, Disney's latest round of layoffs, they are laying off lots and lots of people, including a producer who, air quotes, saved Toy Story 2. Do you know more about that story?
The story behind that is that, and this is obviously back in the early 2000s where things were still put on floppy disks, but apparently the entire movie got deleted on accident out of the Disney servers. And this woman had a copy of it on her personal hard drive at home, apparently.
Oh, she was out here trying to bootleg that.
She was. Yeah.
Damn. So I don't have that
she was out there trying to sell toys come to life too.
She's like, so I have a copy of it.
Why do you have that?
Don't worry about that. Listen, the good thing is I have a copy, and we can say,
hey, Linda, what is Doll Fable?
Yeah.
Can you tell us what Doll Fable is?
Doll Fable. Linda, we hate to tell you this. We know you worked hard, but damn it, we lost Toy Story 2. Oh, did you? What if?
Did you?
What if I was to happen to come across a copy of this that was on my personal computer?
If I just happened to pounced.
Yeah. We need you to stop asking questions, Linda.
That's not straight up, yo. I'm extorting the shit out of them. I want $1 million, bro.
Yeah. Hey, I'm producing this movie, right? Let's bump that percentage.
Yeah, 10% of all box office proceeds, please.
Speaking of blasts from the past, at Toy Story 2, Christopher Lloyd is joining the Knuckles spinoff. Marty!
Wow.
Where is he all of a sudden getting this like comeback from the depths of Back to the Future?
He's one of these actors that I just don't get the hype over. I know he was very niche and great in the movies that he's been in, like, Back to the Future, icon, classic. I get it.
Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah, he was just in
Mandalorian.
We don't have an angel with us right now, Ryan.
I mean,
but we had
that movie used to be my jam back in the day.
Just him, and now he's joining Knuckles in this economy. He's gonna join
this economy.
In this economy.
Do you think he's one of the actors that's striking right now?
I think so. 97%.
Is that how old he is? 97?
No. I said 97%.
Oh, he looked like he's 97.
That's how many SAG actors have struck.
He does look 97.
Yeah.
He looked 97 in Back to the Future.
Right?
You know the guys in like the soap commercials are like, I just want you to know, Paramount, I'm not striking. Thank you, Bill. I'm not. I'm not crossing that picket line. I'm not going over there with them. So if you need me, no, okay, thank you. No, we already got the guy from Johnsonville Sausage.
Yeah.
He's gonna be Einstein in a new musical.
Hey,
you're a C-list hand model,
bro. I'll start writing.
Yeah. Guys, remember those ShamWow commercials? I was one of the guys who was so stupid I couldn't wash a dish. Are you hiring?
I was one of the dumb dads who couldn't put Tupperware away.
Yeah. I was one of the guys that just couldn't handle vacuuming.
It's been my personal dream to be that black kid in the Sunny D commercial that wants the purple stuff. Let's make it happen, guys.
Well, since they're striking, I'm ready.
I think that's called Dimetap, Ryan.
No, I was that.
I believe that's called sipping on some scissor. In other cancellation news, Martin Scorsese
Oh, here we go.
spoke to the Pope, and then after he got the Pope's blessing, announced a new movie about old JC. Okay,
No.
had to go speak.
No.
Had to go had to go talk to the Pope. Hey, I want to do a movie about this guy I think you're familiar with, Jesus.
Hey, our friend up there.
My mother said I can't do the movie unless I talk to you, huh? Guess who's gonna play Jesus?
It ain't Mel Gibson.
Leonardo DiCaprio, baby.
God.
So he's just gonna walk out and be himself.
That's not true, but I just
Leo.
wanted to picture it in my head.
Leo is Jesus.
I want
already.
departed Leo as Jesus.
I just want to know what role is De Niro playing in this movie? Do you think he's Judas?
I think he's Pontius Pilate.
I could see him selling somebody out for 40 pieces of silver.
Yeah. Hey, listen, I know this supper here, but why don't you pass that bread? You're sitting over there hogging all the bread.
Yeah.
I don't care whose body it is. Pass the bread.
Jesus, you've been over there in the middle of the table going like this for an hour.
It would have been Ray Liotta, but rip.
I want to know. I want to know why you're doing this.
Maybe that's who actually comes out from the rock 3 days after he was crucified, is Ray Liotta.
Oh, nice.
Oh my God. You said the rock and you know where my mind went. I thought you were going to have the rock as Jesus. All right, brothers, come on over.
Listen, this is going to happen. They're going to crucify me, but I'm not going to die.
He's going to come out with a pack of Chantix.
They're going to.
I'm going to rain down hell and kick everybody's ass.
Finally, the rock has come back after 3 days in the tomb.
And then I'm going to give him the eyebrow. And then I'm going to storm up there and I'm going to just rock bottom Pontius Pilate.
Pontius Pilate as De Niro.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So The Witcher season 3, huh? Coming out Netflix July 29th, boys, huh?
I just want it to be known that's going to be the snippet right there. I just want it out there now that is this. It's already decided. That's this. It has been decided.
I don't know if it should be, but all right, whatever. Oh man. Yeah,
some Wisconsin mother somewhere is going to be like, these guys are talking about Ray Liotta and Chantix. That's Jesus. You can't listen to this, smut.
Sacrilegious. Boy, I already can see the email. Dear Alter Ego Podcast. So
what does he do with that though?
I don't know, man.
Wasn't like the Passion of Christ like the greatest church movie or whatever?
It had people confessing murders. They watched that movie and went and confessed murders and stuff like that. People really took that movie.
I don't think Scorsese is going to do that. Isn't that the same guy who's making fun of superhero movies?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just make up another fictional person with superpowers, huh? See, yeah.
Well, I don't know about that.
Way to go, Scorsese.
But I just Hollywood doing these and just feeling so entitled. You know what I mean? Like, oh yes, we've got to do this. It's a film that's important.
Hey, Scorsese, if you're trying to be woke and they still striking, I'll be a black Jesus.
Listen, I'm not trying to be too blasphemous here, but wouldn't this be the equivalent of making another Titanic? Spoiler alert.
That's honestly what I was thinking too. Like, you know how it ends.
Listen, this to me, I mean, I get it, but I think this is Hollywood going after some Christian dollars, because they are going to spend tons and tons of money to come see this movie.
Well, now that he's got the Pope attached to it too, people are gonna be like, "Oh, the Pope signed off on this."
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, I'm not the most religious person. I'm not the least religious person, but I don't trust Hollywood. Right? To me, this is the devil making a movie about Jesus.
Yeah, I could agree with that 100%.
I don't support that kind of stuff. I worship and do all that stuff and pray in my own spare time. I'm not going to the movie for this. Sorry. Because I'm sure they could be trying to sell a Hyundai Elantra even in a period piece about Jesus.
I mean, this would be like a bunch of drug dealers writing a children's book for elementary school kids.
Yeah, I just
I got to get paid too.
Ahsoka, the Ahsoka series is coming out on August 23rd to Disney Plus. That I'm actually excited about.
Very much so.
Definitely like to see that.
That's my girl, right?
That is your girl.
Oh yeah, I'll be excited about that too.
Rosario Dawson.
Rosario Dawson.
That's all I just figured it out. That's how we get Ryan to watch
Rosario
any
Dawson.
show. Not Rosario Dawson. Just find somebody in there that he feels are clappable.
Yep.
And tell them they're in it. Hey man, you gotta watch The Flash. You know Gal Gadot's in it.
I'm in there.
And then he's gonna come back to the next show. She wasn't in the
motherfucker. She wasn't in it at all.
Oh boy. Let's talk a little bit of Marvel.
Oh, actually, Star Wars news. I watched the Ronin clip last weekend.
Yeah?
Yeah, dope.
What'd you think?
Thoughts?
That was dope. That was really actually cool.
Yeah, it was really sick.
So I'm actually probably gonna go back and watch a couple of the other visions too. I don't know if they're gonna be as good.
They're not. But let me just go ahead and preface that one right now. The Sith about the old man, that one is just as good. I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
There are a couple really good ones, but that Ronin, that started out with a bang. That was the best.
Top notch. They should have saved that one for like episode 7 or 8 because the only bad thing about that series is it was a little downhill from there.
Yeah. It's hard to beat. It's hard to beat that.
Yeah.
The Marvel board thought the former boss of Marvel was crazy for hiring Robert Downey Jr.
I'm pretty sure that paid off.
Imagine sitting in that room after the numbers came back.
I mean, well, cocaine was a hell of a drug, so I don't blame him.
I mean,
you know who we have to thank for that, right?
Yeah, Jon Favreau.
No. You know who we have to thank for Robert Downey Jr. being relevant at all after his imprisonment was Mel Gibson.
I was about to say, you're going to say Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson he actually deserves a little credit for the MCU being what it is.
Yeah. Sugar tits.
I don't know, man. I think everybody deserves a second chance. And especially, yeah, they do. I mean, depends on what they've done. At that point,
there we go.
That second chance. Probably at that point, they've already had that second chance. But anyway, we're not going to get too crazy into that. But RDJ, thank you, buddy. We're so happy you were here. Here's
might be back.
I hope he does come back.
Did want to talk about Thor: Love and Thunder. You all know how I feel about Thor: Love and Thunder. It was the most ridiculous movie that Marvel has put out. I did not like it, was not a fan. Chris Hemsworth himself has come out and said that Thor: Love and Thunder was too silly. The star, the dude who read the script, the dude who was talking about how much he loved Taika and all that, and he probably does. I'm not saying he doesn't, but to come out and be like, yeah, that movie was a little too silly. Are you kidding me?
I wonder if there's, because we all know what's going on with Chris Hemsworth right now, is his whole dementia deal where he's afraid, we're not going to get into it, but I wonder if there's a small element of redemption there for Hemsworth.
What do you mean?
Like, he may want to come back and do one more Thor movie to try and redeem the franchise, set things right on the back, on the right track, pretty much. Like, I wonder if that element is there for him now.
I think it's all that and more.
Yeah.
I think he knew what Love and Thunder was going to be when it came out and was like, I'm done with this. I don't want to, if this is where Thor is going, I don't want to be this. And I think he saw how slapstick they were making him and was like, I can do this. I don't like it. And then he gets this other news, and that's the place to go. Maybe this isn't for me. I'm going to spend some time with my family. And
do you think if they tell him Taika won't be back, that he might be more?
Well, they've already come out and said Taika won't be back. Taika's out. He's done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, not done forever, obviously. But, for as far as the Thor franchise goes, he won't be returning for Thor 4 if there's a Thor 4.
Shit, I want to see Thor all old and powered up. You know what I mean?
See, that's the story that I want.
We all do, because then you can ride Hemsworth off into the sunset and he can show up every once in a while for Omega level threats and show up and help out or send some help down to his daughter. And then that could be part of that process. But I think this whole thing was really, I think that was his way of saying, yeah, I knew it was going to be a silly movie. Yeah, didn't want to do it. Didn't want to do all that
shit out of that movie for sure.
Bad.
Went from a badass in Infinity War and Endgame to like this goofy ass motherfucker.
Yeah.
Endgame and Infinity War, that is peak Thor. That is peak Chris Hemsworth Thor in the entire franchise, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean,
because you saw two separate Thors in both of those movies, and I thought both of them were amazing performances by him.
And I didn't think Endgame was too silly. I thought it had some funny moments, but at the heart of that version of Thor, it was very serious.
Yeah.
You saw the struggle in him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure, he gained a little weight. That happens to a lot of people. You get angry, you get bitter, you're just tired of it, and then you let it go. And same thing happened. Yeah. So I thought that was great to show for him. But anyway, and another guy from the Thor franchise, Anthony Hopkins, has called his role as Odin pointless acting. It wasn't deep enough. I didn't feel like I was getting fulfilled as an actor to play Odin.
We talked about this pre-show a little bit here in the lobby of the if you're watching this on video.
Yeah.
My thing with this is it's always after their character is done in that franchise do you get the garbage spewing out of their mouth. Because Anthony Hopkins obviously read the script. He knew in pre-production what his character was going to be doing. It's not until after he's been dead and out of Marvel for 3 or 4 years, now we get the garbage. Oh, it was pointless acting. Really? Because I'm pretty sure you signed that contract, bro.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you got those checks and cashed them.
You cashed that check.
He wanted to eat Thanos' liver with a nice Chianti and a side of liver bean.
Liver beans.
A nice Chianti and a
fava beans.
Yeah.
Dude, you were so on point with that until you hit liver beans.
Yeah. I want to eat your liver with some fava beans and some nice Chianti.
Yeah, that's
liver beans is nice. Farvanti.
I don't get these comments. I mean, they're bitter, they're silly, it's petty. Like we don't need them. We don't need to hear this shit.
This is like there are millions of people out there who love that character of Odin. So many people have Odin owed to them tattoos on their body.
Yeah.
I mean, in this comic, Odin is drawn from Norse mythology. Odin, that's who that is. So you have such a huge fan base, and then you have Anthony Hopkins out here like, oh, I don't know. Odin wasn't really that serious of a character for me. It was kind of pointless and silly. Pointless and silly maybe to you.
I mean, I can see where he may say, like, compared to some of his roles, you know what I mean? Like being Hannibal Lecter and some of the other shit he's done.
And, okay, hold on. Like Hannibal Lecter and...
I can name a few movies.
I'm not trying to dig on you. I'm just trying to legitimately ask. Rhino, without looking it up, Hannibal Lecter and...
He was in, what's the one with him and Chris Rock when he's like, bitch, get in the car. That one's... I can't remember that movie.
I know he's a big theater guy. I mean, Anthony Hopkins he's a great actor.
It's in the other one where he killed like his wife or something like that. I can't remember the name of the movie though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Either or, but I prefer him over like that guy who played Hercules. Not Hercules, but Zeus. That Zeus guy.
Oh, Russell Crowe.
I'll take Russell Crowe any day of the week.
I mean, I wish that they might have, got him into a little bit better shape, a little bit more Zeusy looking, but
and a little bit less Taika.
Yeah, a little more serious is what I want to say.
Yeah, but I'll take Russell Crowe all day.
Yeah, Zazie Beetz will not return in Deadpool 3.
She is out as Domino.
Okay. She can exist in another world. I had no problem with her performance as Domino. I liked her.
I liked her too, but she's a character that doesn't need to be there.
Right.
To be honest with you, I was more disappointed to find out what's his name, the stand-up comedian.
Oh, TJ Miller.
I was more disappointed to find out TJ Miller wasn't coming back than I was Zazie Beetz, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, she didn't make that big of an impact on the franchise, to be honest with you. I thought she
cool
was
character.
Love to see her in other stuff. Yeah. I'd like to see Domino fleshed out. And maybe if Domino comes back, they bring her back. But Deadpool 3, this is diving into the MCU. This is Deadpool and Wolverine. You don't throw any more stuff into that. When you got the chocolate ice cream with the toppings on there, you don't add to it.
She would have been pointless.
Yeah. Tom Holland taking a year off from acting again. Okay. See you, Tom. Love you, buddy. Have fun.
I think he does this for the attention at this point. Like, we don't care. I don't care, Tom.
Well, so to his defense on this, people aren't coming in. He's not like coming out and going, guys, I'm taking a year off. Guys, who's listening? He's probably asked over and over and over and over and over and over again. He's like, yeah, I'm taking a year off. Why? So I don't have to sit in front of you people for months at a time.
Well, apparently the Apple TV series that he did. Apparently, the filming for that was extremely gruesome.
Really?
Like, it was very tough filming. I didn't read into it. I don't even know what the show's about, and I won't watch it. But apparently, he had a very tough time.
Well, that's my line, bro. Trademark.
Oh, all right. Sorry.
Royalties.
Chet, cross that off the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the motivations behind him taking a year off, is that he just wants to relax, do all kinds of stuff. Cool. Yeah, go do your thing until
you and
play
Zendaya go hang out and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean,
go make little spider babies.
But he said part of him wants to walk away from Spider-Man too, but part of him wants to be a billionaire.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, part of him will love that direct deposit.
Yeah. I don't see walking away from
Spider-Man. One of the things I find super funny about these actors is like, you get to act and that's your job and you're paid for it, and then you quit and go get a real job. See how much you want to put that suit back on, bro.
Yeah.
I'm
telling you,
Tom.
I wish I could say I'm taking a year off.
Starbucks and then come back to us.
Yeah.
He did follow up his Spider-Man comment. So those were taken a little bit out of context. The point that he was making was the trilogy was really good. It was done very well. I thought all 3 movies were very good, and that the point he was making is that part of him wants to walk away with his head held high. Like, he doesn't want to take the risk on furthering the character and maybe something like Thor happening. But he did go on to say that the idea they have for Spider-Man 4 is really good. So obviously he's going to be back for it.
But that's the thing, though, is Spider-Man, one of the best parts about him is you watching him progress up from a young Spider-Man to an adult one. Like, let us get that. Because you still
an adult Peter Parker he's a cool character.
I think we will get plenty more Tom Holland and Chris Hemsworth, to be honest with you. And I don't want to jump around too much. But did anybody else see the Kraven the Hunter trailer?
You know what? I actually watched the trailer for once, and I saw it.
Yeah,
man, I ain't watching this.
That movie is going to be so terrible.
So here's my thing. I looked up because I didn't know Kraven the Hunter if he even had abilities, and he did.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he gets his abilities in the comics is he steals some pack of herbs from a witch doctor in a jungle.
Okay.
And eats them, and that's how he gets his powers.
Yeah.
This, from what I see from the trailer, they're hunting. Okay, they're hunting.
This is one of them that drives me crazy.
And he gets the lion's blood in his veins, and apparently, was this a magical lion?
No, apparently, when you're left for dead, and then a lion steps over you, and you get his blood in, you become like superpowered.
Wow.
Hunter. You know what I mean?
He's pretty much the jungle version of Captain America now.
That's so much. That sounds so much cooler than Ab Ripper X. If I could just get mauled by a lion and left for dead.
Yeah. I don't know, man. That shit to me just. I saw that and I was like, can we stop it with the whole animal blood and just makes it like, you know what I mean?
You're right.
A drop of lion's blood makes me an absolute fucking
Morbius
beast.
was another one.
Bro.
People are gonna go out there like, I'm gonna get bled on by this polar bear.
That's how we got COVID.
What if I give cocaine to a bear and then have his blood drop?
Listen, there is a silver lining for Kraven being absolutely shit. And I said this in the group chat a couple days ago, because they're trying to go this anti-hero route with Marvel villains, and they're trying to turn them into good guys, and it's obviously not working. Venom 2 was terrible. Morbius was terrible. Kraven the Hunter is going to be terrible, and I'm sure Madam Web will be terrible. I'm hoping this is what pushes Sony over the edge to be like, you know what, Marvel, take our shit, cut us a check. Just put our name on it somewhere in the background, cut us a check every time you do a movie. You guys have everything from here.
They should have been done that. I could have swore that they actually approached them to do that.
It's not going to happen.
Marvel approached Sony to do that. Sony didn't. Sony's stubborn. They want to hold on to whatever they have left.
And then
from what I understand, what I heard is actually Into the Spider-Verse is what saved them.
Yeah, that's what I say. That's the only thing they're successful about.
Yeah, they were going to sell it until that happened. So
here's
then keep doing those.
Yeah, keep doing animated. Leave live action to the professionals.
Yeah,
and have a storyline that's not written by a 4-year-old.
Sony has never put out a good live action comic book.
Whoa, wait, yes they have.
What was it?
The original Spider-Man trilogy.
Sony has never put out a good live action comic book movie.
Was Blade Sony, or was that Fox?
No, that was Fox.
New Line Cinema.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, New Line. There we go. New Line, boy. You used to get hyped when New Line and ladders were falling. You're like, I don't know why they're going to fall in the box, but I'm here for it.
That's the only reason I remember that. I don't know why I remember that.
But I just give it up, guys. Venom, I was so ready for that to be. Never mind, I'm not going to Venom rant, not right now. Speaking of Venom, Eddie Brock is not going to be Venom in Spider-Man 2. So it's only going to be, it can only be Flash Thompson unless there's a narrative reason why not, right?
Yeah.
See, this is where they messed up, and this is where they can mess up. They need to have Eddie Brock be the bad guy first. He needs to be Venom
always
first.
Always.
Like, I don't understand why they did this and went that route.
They need Spider-Man to lose to Venom a couple different times.
I'd be down with that.
Right? There's nothing wrong with doing well in the fight and then losing for whatever reason. It happens all the time in video games.
By the way, Sony did Ghost Rider. Rhino.
Oh, I stand corrected. But no, it's just, I don't know. They've never.
No, they really haven't.
It's just like, it's cheesy, man. They've had some great moments. They've had some iconic moments, but as movies as a whole, they suck.
Hey, you know what?
Sony's
good at making fucking video games.
Okay.
I was just about to ask, let's take it a step further beyond comic books. What's the best Sony movie, period?
Hold on. Did it go?
That's worth a goog.
I just typed song movies. I'm looking at the list here. Hold on a second. Let's just go down the list.
Sky. Oh, they did the James Bond series with Daniel Craig. Those aren't bad.
Okay. Let's see. Bullet Train. Haven't seen it, but I've heard good things.
Hancock was pretty good.
Damn, hand job. It's the only thing I remember about that movie.
Oh, Terminator 2.
I'm going to take his head and shove it up
your ass. Has anybody seen Battle Los Angeles?
That wasn't bad. Yeah, that wasn't bad at all. Terminator 2 would probably be their best movie they've ever put out.
Bad Boys too, bro.
It's also unfair for them to get to claim the Spider-Mans with Tom Holland. That's unfair. Let's see. Yeah, Hancock was a good one. Click was a good one. Guilty pleasure. I'm sorry, I can't.
Hannibal. They did Hannibal.
Yeah, okay. They've got a couple. Okay. Ooh, they've got Brokeback Mountain 2, Ballsack Junction.
Oh, here's their best movie ever, and I'm just gonna say the line, and you're gonna immediately know what it is. Get off my plane.
Get off my plane.
Get off my plane. Give me my family back.
My family. I'm gonna stomp you with my Air Force Ones.
I mean, honestly,
I got an instant headache for that one.
Oh my god!
I'd have to say, what is going to be Into the Spider-Verse is probably their best movie.
I mean, I'm talking live action.
Oh, live action,
because I've seen a lot of Sony animated that are really good.
No, they did the Ghostbusters franchise. They did
Jumanji.
Rambo. They did Rocky.
Jumanji. Is it the old Robin Williams Jumanji?
No, the new one wasn't bad, bro.
Oh, okay.
Hellboy.
Okay. All right.
I'm still sticking with Bad Boy.
Oh, they did The Fifth Element. That is an all-time classic.
All-time amazing movie.
Yeah,
for sure. Okay. Sony's had a few.
They do have some decent movies.
They've had a few. Okay, I'll give you that, Sony. But that's it. Let's talk about this because tomorrow is Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion episode 1 drops tomorrow.
Yep.
And if they're following the trends, episode 1 is going to be a banger. It is going to be a very good episode. Because
what's our expectations with this series, boys?
My expectations, you've got an A-list actor with A-list supporting actors. You have a character that's been with Marvel since day one. My expectations are through the roof for this episode, for this series. This to me is going to be competing with every series for the #1 spot.
I do appreciate the espionage aspect of this series because we haven't really gotten a whole lot of that in the MCU. We only got that with a couple of the Captain America movies, like the espionage, spy, the darker side of the
Winter
story.
Winter Soldier
Yeah.
style.
Yep.
And
so
this,
I'm very excited about that.
They've come out and said that this is going to have the very Winter Soldier-esque vibes, and it's going to only go crazier from there.
And we're getting a species that Marvel hasn't dived into a whole lot yet. Obviously, we got it in the Captain Marvel movie, but it's a huge part of the comics, and it has been for the last 20, 30 years. So that's exciting too.
Yeah, expectations through the roof. I think there's going to be great performances all around, and I think Samuel Jackson won't even be, like he won't be the standout, right? Like sometimes, like with Loki, it was good, but to me, it was kind of Tom Hiddleston and Owen Wilson, and then kind of a little bit of a drop off. Still a fantastic show. And it's tied up there with WandaVision and all the other great ones that they've had. But this one has, like, what's the guy's name? Martin Freeman, who played Frodo and all that. He's in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I have a feeling Julia Louis-Dreyfus is going to be in it.
We got Don Cheadle.
Amelia Clark, Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
We got. I'm surprised they haven't tried to turn this one into a movie.
What if the first thing they do is they have Terrence Howard back on screen, no more Don Cheadle?
Well, that's not going to happen because he's in the trailer, but that would be interesting.
Even if it was like a cameo where he was a Skrull and just turned into the wrong guy, and it's like, oh shit, wait, this isn't the right one.
I could see him starring in an episode of What If.
Push that shit out.
But I do think that that Rhodey is a Skrull.
In this show, yeah, I could see that.
No, I think he's been a Skrull.
Why? Because he black?
Yeah.
I think there was an interesting question that was posed a couple days ago.
Wouldn't you died when he fell out of the thing when he turned back to normal Skrull?
He didn't die. No, he didn't die.
When he fell?
No, because when they die, they revert back.
Yeah.
I break my back. So they might be like,
Samuel L. Jackson posed this question, and I did find it a little interesting. He said, "Why has Nick Fury never been to Wakanda?"
That's a good point.
And I think that
it's already got too many black people.
Okay.
I don't think Nick Fury has never been to Wakanda. I think we haven't seen him in Wakanda. But
in the MCU,
yeah,
because they don't trust his ass
for sure. Well, that for sure. But if you're saying people who go to Wakanda can't be Skrull,
no, he's just posing the question. But because I made this point earlier, well, not earlier, a couple episodes ago. I think the Nick Fury that got snapped away at the end of Infinity War was the Skrull Nick Fury, and that the regular one was hiding in space the entire time.
You think the Skrull Nick Fury would have that pager to Captain Marvel?
Well, the Skrulls know Captain Marvel.
I don't know, man. Fury's got trust issues. Anyway, that's definitely interesting, and I hope they cover where he was during the snap in episode 1. Because during the snap, with him having not been there, that would be one of the big reasons the Skrulls could take over.
Yeah.
So let's end this episode with the poll question we had this week. I think that's a good
ending segment.
Out.
So I posted this question on our Facebook page. We'll start with our answers just to get our answers out of the way. But I asked the audience what their favorite nostalgia was from the 80s and 90s, like your favorite nerdy thing, whether it be a cartoon, a comic book, a graphic novel, toys, what have you. So Ryan, we'll start with you. What is the most what brings you back to the 80s and 90s when you see it or hear it?
Bro, Three Ninjas and Mighty Ducks all day.
Three Ninjas.
Oh man, Three Ninjas.
Do you remember? Not you. Do you remember their names?
No.
Rocky, Colt, and Tum Tum, baby.
Tum Tum, yep.
Wow.
I don't know why I knew that.
Dude, I'm surprised you didn't just jump out of your seat to tell me that. You had that here.
As soon as he said Three Ninjas, I was like, oh my God. Three Ninjas at Thunder Bay? Not Thunder Bay. What is
that's the Thunder Mountain, I think.
Thunder Mountain, something like that.
And like I was telling your boy, the one with Hulk Hogan, trash. But 2,
that's Thunder.
Knuckles Up.
Yeah.
Best one
Wait.
One yet.
Oh, that is the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mighty Ducks 2 was my favorite.
Oh, absolutely.
Where they face off against Iceland. They got the knuckle puck. They're playing street hockey in South Central LA.
Yep.
Hey, you want to go out on this basketball court and play hockey in 105-degree weather?
Goldberg's not addicted to drugs already.
Mine. So, and I can't remember. Oh, okay. Pooch Patrol.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys remember these or not, but they were the
Dude.
stuffed dogs
Yeah.
that you could like lift their lips up and put their eyebrows down.
Yeah. Do you remember that? Pooch Patrol?
No.
Damn.
Let's see if I can show you this picture. I don't know if it'll show up on the camera or not, but no, probably not.
It's
You see the
there.
dog?
It's there a little bit. Yeah. I remember Pooch Patrol big time.
Yeah, they had like 3 or 4 different ones, but I had one and I played with it for 3 years. I was inseparable from that thing.
Yeah.
Bro, you know what doll I had when I was a kid and I fucking hated? Remember My Buddies that looked just like fucking Chucky dolls?
No.
Yeah, I used to have one of those things.
The other one was the Wrestling Buddies.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Stone Cold Steve
Yeah.
Austin.
Yes.
That's-
Yeah, you had
Macho
Bret
Hulk Hogan.
Macho Man, Sting, Bret Hart.
My God.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. Is it? Do you want me? Is it my turn?
Oh, yeah. Go
Yeah,
on.
your turn, and then I'm going to read some of the answers we got.
I think people that know me already know my answer. Rhino yelled at his wife over my answer. It's hands down the Teenage Mutant Ninja,
Ninja
Turtles.
Turtles.
They
Yeah.
were just. I was always out there trying to roundhouse kick somebody.
Yeah.
Trying to
Turtle
shell
power.
shock.
Pizza way too much.
Yeah, man. I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to me, I mean, I still freaking love them.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
The cartoon was the best, hands down,
and
in my eyes.
anytime that song comes on, Rob, people know Rob Lamb, who we did the 24-hour podcast with and all that stuff. Rob has that cabinet in his studio, and every once in a while that song will come on, and I just gotta walk over and just look at it like I'm mesmerized, right?
These were pretty
I just love it.
decent back then, too. I remember those.
The second, another one where the sequel was probably the best one, the Secret of the Ooze.
I made a fun.
Yeah. That was a great
Go
one. too.
Ninja,
I love
go
Turtles in
Ninja,
Time.
go.
I don't even care. It wasn't
Bro.
like
Can I tell you, we were at a party a while back, and that was on TV. And my boy, best friend Paul, word for word, whole entire thing.
yeah.
Just like, I'm like, bro, we had to be like, well, we're 30 something now. How do you remember that? He's like, it's my favorite movie, bro. I still remember.
Well, I can tell you, I'm never watching a movie with Paul.
Yeah. Oh, literally. I love it. But that's exactly what he did. He sat in the kitchen.
Paul's out.
Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
Paul's out. No more
how do you-
Paul.
How do you remember this, bro?
You know what, Paul? Just put it on mute. You could take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the answers that we got, a
Oh,
couple of
Paul.
the alter ego wives chimed in with their answers. Miss Megan answered with Super Nintendo, Mario, and Donkey Kong specifically.
I mean,
Yeah.
that just like
Goats.
yeah,
Goats.
100%. I remember playing Mario till God knows how early in the morning.
3 in the morning, 4 in the morning. You're
Oh.
getting
Yeah. Then you hear that, and you're like, oh God, come on, focus up.
Bro, my wife cannot play video games for the save her life right now.
Facts.
You give her
No,
Donkey
same.
Kong Country, bro.
I love you,
and
Abby.
she's an absolute manimal, bro. I sit there and watch her play, and I'm like, holy shit, I could never do that. And she's just
Yeah.
like running through it. Just sit
She's
there
like,
and beat
she's
it.
like,
in a few
man, it does
hours.
suck
It's
to suck,
crazy.
huh, nerd?
It does.
And
Donkey Kong Country is one of the most. Those are iconic. We need to do a special about old school video games.
yes,
Sure.
I'm down with that.
Yes, anytime.
Samey.
My wife obviously chimed in with Ninja Turtles. We mentioned that earlier. This one actually kind of took me way back because my great grandma actually had this. I'm not lying. My great grandma had one of these at her house. But Ernest Anderson chimed in with an Atari 2600.
Fun fact, that was one of the first things that I played as a game system.
Yeah.
My neighbor
That's the very first one I ever played.
used to play that jungle game where you had to catch the vine and hop over all the
I
time.
was Super Nintendo, man. That's what I
Bro.
got started on. Super Nintendo.
Joshua Stuller mentioned Mighty Max. I
Wow.
don't know what that is, but
Wow. Wait,
Isn't that the movie with the
yeah?
the gorilla? No.
Wait, Mighty Max. Isn't that the dude? What am I thinking? I'm thinking the guy. I'm thinking of Mega Man. Never mind. Bye, guys.
I have no idea what Mighty Max is. So that one threw me off.
I'm gonna look it up.
Adam Kunos, my buddy Adam, Toonami on Cartoon Network, DBZ, Sailor Moon, Gundam Wing, The Big O,
Sort of type it in your buddy's name. What am I looking up? Mighty Max.
Mighty Max. Yeah.
Oh, Mighty Max. Yeah, still nothing.
Next
Still nothing,
time.
guys. I'm sorry.
The
I
next
have no idea what Mighty Max is.
This was never
Ball
one
Z.
for me. Tune in next week to find out what happens on Dragon Ball Z.
Oh God, they had the worst cliffhangers of all time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Will Goku get out of the Superbolic time chamber? Will Bulma ever find out that Vegeta's actually a dick? Tune in next week.
I'm proud and I love my boy Freezer.
And all they did was say 3 lines of dialogue and then 45 minutes of
Freezer walks up.
Piccolo was the worst with that. There was like a 5-season stretch where all he would do is It's like, are you gonna do anything, bro? You're just standing there watching the fight from up in the tower. Kami's lookout.
because everybody in the show was always so clueless, and Piccolo was the only one who ever understood the gravity of the situation and just how much danger they were all in. That's why he was always like, everybody's like, what's wrong with you, man? He's like, these dudes are about to kill us. I don't know, man.
Fucking Dragon Ball Z, man.
I could talk for days about 90s wrestling too.
Oh my god, the greatest era ever. The greatest era.
Into some wrestling at a drop of a hat. You want to talk about nostalgia when
The Attitude Era.
Break? Come on, man.
Yeah, $1 million.
Generation X.
Yeah, Chris Jericho.
Oh god,
Jericho
that was when The Rock was probably at his peak too.
Yeah. So, guys, that's been episode 150 of the Alter Ego. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna do The Rock like that.
And my boy Nello with Surf Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas. There was also Street Sharks.
Kwanzaa, dude.
Used to know Street Sharks a lot too. What we want some more answers though, guys.
All right,
Let's whatever your stuff was, or if you got any more over there, fire them out.
that poll question is still up, but you can go over to the Alter Ego Maniacs and post anything you want on that page as well. We'd love to hear more of it.
Yes, absolutely. So we'll see you guys next week. I think I'm pretty confident in saying we're going to be talking about the first episode of Secret Wars or Secret Invasion.
Man,
You're watching it. It's Samuel L. Jackson.
What's that supposed to mean?
He's
means watch it, motherfucker.
So what you're saying is he's not white.
That's going to do it for us. Episode 150 of the Alter Ego podcast. I've been your host, Jack Austin. With me, as always, Mr. Ryan, Mr. Rhino. We'll see you guys next week.
Sesquicentennial.
You can also check out the Sesquicentennial at Facebook, Alter Ego Podcast, Alter Ego Podcast, Alter Ego Pod on Instagram and Twitter. Or you can just email us, alteregopodcast2@gmail.com.
Oh, and the YouTube channel. Sorry.
And the YouTube channel, Alter Ego Podcast. Check us out, or we'll call the cops on you, okay? There's nothing you can do about it, and I'm going to do it, okay? If you watched it before and you didn't watch this one, I'm calling the police.